Hi Israel.
Hi.
I'm really happy to be here with you in your very own office in Addis Ababa. The reason why I'm here is because I have accepted your wonderful invitation of visiting your washing station, your farms. Of course, I took this opportunity to have a short chat with you. So I wanted to ask you first, when did you start in coffee? How your experience with coffee world ever started?
Thank you very much. I really also appreciate to get involved in this origin trip and came to Ethiopia. Most of the people, when we invite them, they scared and they don't think that it's a good idea to be in the farm, or so they are. So you are a good hero for being here in the homeland of coffee. When it comes to your question about my coffee, I born and grown in coffee, and I'm the third generation of the coffee producing family. I found myself in coffee. I didn't go to coffee just to work. I born it and grown in there, and I grown up with coffee. I grown up in a coffee farms. So that's my first attachments in coffee.
So basically, you are born in a family of farmers. So basically, you started working at your parents' farm?
Yeah, my parents, they does have a coffee farms and orange farms.
Orange farms?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in our village, my burning village is called Dirga Alam, and in that area there was a coffee farm and parallel an orange farm. So they do have a big farms in that area. So
Okay.
I born there, and we were playing. We start our kids play with coffee beans.
Your playground was the farm, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my start with coffee from my childhood.
So how did you come from that point, like being the son of a traditional family farming coffee in Ethiopia, in what you are today? Because today I am amazed to understand that you have 46 washing stations.
Yeah.
We have visited 2 of them, Adola and Anasora. And that's amazing because there are hundreds of people working on each. And so how did you came to this? At some point you wanted to be more than just a coffee farmer, because this is like a really big operations. So when did this business venture basically started?
Yeah, it's a long story. After my graduation, I used to take my first primary school in my born village, and after my mom gives me to my grandma. My grandma is a very modern businesswoman.
Okay.
So
okay.
she believes on education, and she always pushed me to take my education classes and get an exposure of what's the global culture
globally.
looks. Yes.
Okay.
So she's pushing me every time.
Like a mentor.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I at that time I don't really understand why she's pushing us. I prefer to go to my mom's village and stay there, but she doesn't allow me to stay more than a week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get into more international globalized mentality because I took my high school in an English school.
Okay.
And then I start becomes thinking differently.
Maybe at a more you're thinking to scalable business.
Yes.
Rather than single farming.
Yeah, and after my graduation, honestly, my grandma, she doesn't want me to be a businessman or going down and help my family because her expectation from me was to be a pilot or a doctor.
Okay, so out of the coffee world.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my personal feelings was not like that. When I was studied, even in my university classes, I'm still thinking that my parents, my relatives are not getting benefits from what they are producing.
Okay.
And I always feel a big responsibility I have, and I wanted to, I always tell for my classmates that I want to go back to my hometown and I wanted to create something different. And at least if I couldn't able to change the whole things, I will try some and tries to bring upscale our community, coffee growing families. That was my thoughts. That's why the reason I jump into my burning.
So not running away from everything now that you have an education and you can do basically anything, but you wanted to come back and make a difference and still being successful while helping others.
Yes, okay. I believe on that.
Okay. Well, that's a nice goal, but from this dream to the point when you are managing literally thousands of people, which work on those 46 washing stations and also on the farms you have. It's first time for me in Ethiopia, and I'm really amazed by the culture, because of course it's not a rich country, but as I told you in our short conversation in the car, I feel people are really relaxed and really happy with what they have. They're not necessarily lingering, wishing something that maybe other person has. So I didn't feel that, and you confirm me that.
Yeah.
But still, to get to this point, I've seen that you have a way of speaking with them, and this I have identified as a leadership, which must work because you don't work with the most educated, sophisticated people which have experience of working very organized. But in our short staying there, everything was very smooth. The accommodation, the schedule, even the meals, everything was just like we were having like a professional catering service, and it was done by your people. So, what is your leadership style?
Yeah, my leadership style.
Your motivational strategy, let's say, because it must be something that brings those people to follow you.
Yeah. In my personality, I don't have a bossy style living of life. Of course, in our culture, most of our peoples behave like that, being a boss and give an order and task. I don't feel comfortable in such way of management. I believe on working together, being closer with your staff, and give your thoughts and your ambition, and they will own it after. You'll give your aim and your goal and your vision, then everybody can own it, and they will understand you. And the biggest factor and the biggest key point is everybody knows I'm very transparent, and everybody knows, every employee knows what I am doing and what we are doing, and they feel that they are proud for what they are doing. That's the reason everybody wants to be a part of our company, mm-hmm. and tries to contribute their parts, because we are not seeking only profits, as I told you, on the farm. Our aim is not maximizing the capital or maximizing the profit of the company. That's one point for us. Our aim is maximizing in the benefits of the stakeholders, okay. All the workers, all the farmers, because at the end of the day, the owner of the product is a farmer. Yeah. So my thought is very clear, and there is no question, there is no hidden agenda at the back. Okay. So everybody is very committed in my company, and everybody knows what we are doing, and they are really, from their deep of the heart, they really want to help and understand what my thoughts are.
Yeah. I mean, basically, this is very true because, as you told me, like 2 years ago, there was a big riot, and farmers destroyed many washing stations, and your washing stations, all of them, 40 something, would not be affected at all. So the farmers you are working were not having any issue with you. They were not feeling in doing something to you, because maybe people don't actually know exactly, and for me it was like a better understanding. Basically the washing station is just a center where all the farmers come and give the coffee to be processed. So basically the washing station owners do not by default own farms. So they're in a very direct connections with the farmer. So basically your relationship with farmers has been validated once more with this really tragic event.
Yeah, that's my vision, and the mission of our company is also creating an ownership in all the stakeholders,
them having maybe some stakes in your company.
Yeah, because they don't feel that they are disadvantaged in all transactions, and they know that if the company grows, they will get also more benefits. Yeah, and they understand us, what we are doing, and practically they confirm that the benefits are not only for us, it's also for them. Okay. So they are getting benefits. As I told you, we are helping them in a different charity programs.
Yeah. I've seen the school.
Yes.
We've visited the school.
You visited one of the school. Yeah. And we give them a new nursery seedling varieties coffee for free. Mm-hmm. And we support them even if they got a shortage of cash in their hand. Yeah. During the off season of the coffee, we pre-finance them. These all attachments are keeping us safe. It's not because we are a holistics or something different. It's our job, and it's our mission who protected us from any other rival affections.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the secret.
Yeah. We've met through amazing microlots. This is how we met. We were in search of amazing coffee. So basically we started from the very, very top coffee. Now when we visited, we have seen the new method you are implementing, the anaerobic, the alcoholic method, which works amazing with some coffees. But you do also, because there's really big operation. You do also commercial grade coffee, which anyway is probably most of it, or totally is 80 plus points. So according to SCA, should be specialty anyway. Yeah. But anyway, what is the plan? Because I've seen that you have this passion and motivation, not only helping the people, as you said, but also improving your products. So these special processing coffees take time, take an effort. Maybe they're not really profitable. Also for a roastery, sometimes they're not really profitable, but we do it because we love coffee and we want to stand out, of course. But we also, it's a really big motivation because keeps us going, you know. What is the plan in this area? Do you plan to expand this type of processing? Are you doing that most of the washing stations? Do you want to have this processing at all of the washing stations? Maybe.
The program for the project coffee, especially, we have a common thought in our company. We need to create something different from the ordinary businesses, and we have a team which every time they try to experiment and bring up a different taste of coffee from the process. So first year we'll just get a small amount of just to see the result of the project. Yeah. Sometimes it could be successful, sometimes it could be not successful.
It's an adventure. Yeah, sometimes.
But we believe we must have to, at least in each harvest, we have to create something different from our ordinary coffees.
Okay.
And after that, we'll get a feedback from the customer side. Mm-hmm. We distribute those coffees for all our customers. And after we get the customers' feedback for the next harvest, if the customers are interested in a bigger volume, we'll select the specific coffees and will expand to the volume. And as you know, the coffee for the commercial is not attractive business. We are struggling to survive on the on the business. It's a very teeny business for us because the profit is not there.
Not there, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very risky for us.
If you want to be also fair with the farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we trying to, as much as we can, to push our project coffees expand in different way and comes out of it. That's our big.
Okay, I understand. Okay, we know that many origins have problems with workforce. Visiting your farms and seeing all those people, they're really young, really dynamic. It doesn't seem like that as like a first glance, but we know there is an issue. Ethiopia is, as you said, is rapidly going into an industrial path. So people are attracted to go to the city, get different jobs. Do you see? Do you think it will be an issue at some point, the workforce for your business, for your processing first, or do you think farmers will have a problem retaining this nice family climate in which they grow basically the coffee? Do you think Ethiopia will be affected at some point on this matter?
Yeah, because it's a natural growth. If I don't expect this problem will happen in the coming 10 years.
Okay.
But if the country starts growing and the people would prefer to work in the factories and in other convenient area. Farm is not convenient area for the workers. So it will happen at some level, but I don't really expect that will happen rapidly as we think, because the population what we have in this country is very big. We are the second largest populated country
and
in
very
Africa.
Young. The villages are very young.
Yes, so that will not be a problem in the next 10, 15 years.
Okay, yeah.
But it will happen if the country grows and if the industrial revolutions comes in and the workers would move to the cities than the farm. And it's happening, but it doesn't affect us.
Yeah,
yet.
Yeah, especially those regions which are quite remote and really far away from Addis.
Yes.
Yeah, to be honest. So Israel, we have discussed at lunch about the new technology you are interested. Actually, you are implementing at your farm, the Israeli irrigation system, and I would like to tell me more about how it works, how it will work at your farm, what problem it solves, especially because I know that the major reason why you're interested in this system is because you want to keep growing coffee organic, like most of the Ethiopian coffee, without any added substances. Yeah. Tell me more about the irrigation system, the Israeli solution.
Yeah, we are implementing there is a drip irrigation system from Israel, and we are putting a fertigation system to avoid any herbs, because our biggest cost when we manage our farms is removaling of the herb is takes like 60% of our cost. So fertigation will avoid redundant costs to remove the herbs.
Yeah.
And the other advantage of putting irrigation is you will not be dependent on the natural rain.
Yeah.
If you had any problem with the shortage of the rain, you can irrigate and give water for the plants by technological. And the another problem is you don't know the soil content, what it needs. There are nowadays organic fertilizers, which is created by different international institutes.
Yeah.
So you could use those organic fertilizers and bring up your productivity. Our biggest challenge in our traditional farming is productivity.
Yeah.
Productivity is a big problem for every farmer, because whatever the price you get, if your productivity is low, you can't cover all your costs. So what we are implementing in this model farm of us is, this is the second year after we implemented. I hope by the third year we will get the first product, the first result. And then our plan is to expand by long-term contractual agreements to our surrounding outgrowers.
Oh, really?
This system,
Okay.
We have planted the same variety, and it's all known, and it's growing equal. There is no difference between plant to plant, and it's all controllable. So that's very modern way of farming, and very productivity. And nobody will not be suffer
Yeah, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win project for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's what we are experimenting in our farms.
Yeah, and basically how it works, as I understand, is that it's just like a layer, a plastic layer, which is covering everything except the coffee plant.
Yeah.
So in this way, you don't have any bushes growing underneath.
Yes.
And you might not need to have that natural shade or artificial shade to the plant.
Yes, we don't.
Because you now control so well the irrigation.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah. So now I understood better. Okay, so you are selling a lot of coffee to third wave coffee shops all over the world. We are roasters. And selling and roasting and selling your coffee, of course. And that all came as a trend, as a movement, maybe 20 years ago. And in our country and most of the countries is starting usually with big cities. Addis Ababa is a growing and big city. I mean, for sure, it's undeniable. How is the third wave coffee culture, as you know it, from your trips in Europe and all over the world? Is it anything happening here, or do you foresee anything similar happening here in Addis Ababa, let's say in urban areas? Because I've seen the marvelous traditional ceremony with Buna, which is everywhere at any corner. But do you think that people are already interested or will be interested in this type of presenting the coffee, as third wave coffee shops are doing in all over the world?
I think it's in the modern cities like Addis and the rest 4 or 5 cities we have. On those cities, those coffee shops are spreading out and increasing the numbers, but most of the rest part of the country population is very dependent on cultural coffee ceremony, and it was not a culture to buy coffee from the shops in Ethiopia, because coffee is something which you brew it in your home, not you buy it from outside. So it's changing, but it's not as we expected as modernization happening.
Probably. As I was saying, you are traveling a lot, and you attend World of Coffee, you attend major events in important markets. What do you think is the future of Ethiopian coffee as an industry? Or let's say, where do you think it should be? Where do you think it belongs? What is your prediction about the position of Ethiopian coffee in the coffee world?
Our position is, I think Ethiopian coffee, you better know this more than me, but from my personal concern, Ethiopian coffee is something all the world needed, because it's a historical thing, and it's a source of all flavors. Ethiopian coffee, what it makes different is you can find 100 of flavors. You can't stop by saying Ethiopian coffee is this all. It's a very complex flavor we got. Every year, every time we found a new coffee growing area. And it's a culture, every peoples, they wanted to grow coffee.
Because so it's trendy now.
It's a trend. And every time we find a new coffee place, a coffee growing area, a coffee community, and a new flavor, every year a new flavor comes out of Ethiopia. So it's, of course, on the volume case, we are not big but our flavor value, our taste of value is not simple as the other coffees, I can say.
Yeah.
So it will continue, and it will be we are the first biggest producer of coffee in Africa.
Yeah.
So
this you see that staying.
This will stay up to 50, 60 years, I will
Yeah.
expect. I can
Yeah.
definitely say, because my kids are they are very passionate for coffee.
Okay.
I'm also grown and gear up for coffee, and it's my blood. I can't stop doing it. Whatever the business is gets worse or good, we don't really. Of course, we care about the profitability, but we are not doing it because we are getting a profit. It's our heritage and our culture, our identity. So coffee is not a simple thing for all Ethiopians. So it has a big value, and it will grow, and even the productivity and the flavor, every year it will get improved, and impressive coffees will comes out. I'm definitely sure for the next 100 years from Ethiopia.
Well, that brings me my last question, and that's also concerning a bit the future. There's been a lot of debate about climate change. Everything in Ethiopia is high grown. How do you feel that affecting coffee so far in, let's say, the last 10 years, that's 5 years?
The climate.
How do you see you fighting against it? Because, as you said, you are not going to back down. Did you find in your research farms any varietals that might, resist if the climate is getting a bit hotter?
From the beginning, our varieties are very climatic resistant. Mostly the lowland area coffee. We call lowland 1,400 is lowland for Ethiopian coffee production. So starting from there, we say every year we implement a new varieties to resist the climatic change, and we are also investing to avoid on dependency of the climatic change and drip irrigation. That will be one of the solutions to protect your
the
farm
irrigation system.
Yes, and it's for Ethiopia. If you ask me, the climatic change, of course, it's affecting, but it has also an advantage. We have a very high areas which can't be able to grow a coffee for the last 20 years. Now we are planting in those areas a coffee trees, and the coffees are growing there. Look at Anasora. In Anasora, I remember when I was a secondary school, there was no coffee in Anasora growing there. But after some years, it's very high. That's why the coffee is starting growing. I feel it. It's a climatic change that makes coffee can grow in that area. But still there are a big, very high. We have 5,000 above sea level areas which we couldn't able to plant a coffees. So it has some advantages and disadvantages as well for Ethiopia. So For the disadvantage, we are finding a solution from our experiments to get a climatic resistant varieties.
Yeah.
Irrigation system is also the second option. Yeah, we are implementing those, and I'm definitely sure the climatic change will affect us as quick as we expect.
So
because we are in a very high altitude.
So basically, you're fighting the disadvantages, but you're embracing the advantages and the new areas, basically, which is putting to the table to be explored with coffee growing.
Yes.
Amazing. Israel, I want to thank you for the time. It's an amazing opportunity for me to be here and to have this opportunity of speaking to you and hopefully making possible for others to understand what's happening here, what are you doing from the position of the biggest exporter of coffee in Ethiopia. Congratulations for that. I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope we continue our cooperation for many, many years.
Thank you very much.
And I would like to end in a traditional way. As I've seen that you say hi, so like the Ethiopian way.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay.